got game 4 coming up, and the Canes are in a really big hole. They're down 3-0 in this series, and you got to ask the question, who do they turn to in net? All right, so up until this point in the NHL playoffs, the best goalkeeper until the Eastern Conference Finals had started, it had been Frederik Andersen. Andersen in the first series against the New Jersey Devils played very well. And then in the second series against the Washington Capitals, when you got them coming off of their historic season, Ovi getting the goal record, them being the #1 team in the East, Andersen just found a way to shut the door, and in a lot of crucial games in that series was able to not give up too many points because they took a commanding 3-1 series lead in that game. His save percent was really good. His goals allowed, per game was very good. And there was at one point where he was the best goalkeeper in this playoffs. Then the Panthers series happened, and the historic run that the Panthers had been on up until this point as a road team, outscoring teams, I believe, after game 2, 22 goals to 4 goals. And this is also including the Toronto series too. So he just ran into a buzzsaw. But now, after going down 2-0 and not being able to secure a win, and both of those, games at home being blowouts, Carolina decided to make a goalie change. Now, I will say to the beginning of game 3, some of the saves Kochetkov had were really impressive. Like you could feel it right within the first few waning seconds of the game. Like he was jumping on pucks and he was out of the crease and he was making crazy wild saves where he's throwing up his pad block or his leg and stuff. But then as the game started to settle in, with the fact that we're going into the third period and the score is only 1-1. The score is only 1-1. The only goal that happened up until that point was Niko Mikola's goal that gave Florida the lead. But then Stankoven cut into the lead 1-1. The third period was wide open. And I think the game with how he played was very impressive. Now, Florida had an explosive third period, just like how Dallas did a couple games back, just like how Edmonton had in this game that just wrapped up. So when you kind of question, okay, who do we put at net? Because there were 5 goals given up in the third period. There's parts of me that think you sit Frederik Andersen for one game to just kind of collect your thoughts. Whatever happens, happens. But there's parts of me where you kind of sit and you look at how far you've gotten and who has gotten you here. Do or die, the fact that they've been 0-15, I believe, since they've won the Cup, and how, to this franchise's point in time, this is probably the biggest playoff game. You got to go back to Andersen. I know that's a huge overreaction. I know maybe there were some saves. Maybe this game could have been a lot worse. But there's parts of me that think, with just how well Andersen had been playing, and I know Florida had his number in the first 2 games, you got to go back to him in a do-or-die situation where, okay, if we sweep, we go down with the ship. Like if we do get swept by the Panthers, you got to ride out with Andersen. But anyways, that's my thoughts on that. Kane fans, how do you feel? Like this series has been really tough to watch, especially after last night's loss, where it just seemed like Carolina could find a way to win, but just that explosive third period and just how Panthers might be going back-to-back this year. We'll just have to see. What do you think? Do you think they put Andersen back at net, or do they keep who they got right now? Do they avoid the sweep? Let me know in the comments section. Leave a like button, and I'll catch you in the next video.